Welcome to this segment of Freshen Up. Today I'd like to talk to you about cybersecurity. At the recent annual meeting in March, we talked a lot about several topics, but one of the most important ones that I wanted to make sure that you took advantage of was the topic of cybersecurity. This is a big industry issue, and we need to make sure that you have all the information you need to be successful in your store in protecting yourselves and your customers. Paper or plastic, those words have been a staple in our business forever. But today, I'm not talking about which sack you want. I'm talking money. Today more than ever, the discussions are around the transaction. You don't just handle money anymore, you handle a transaction. You must pay attention to how that transaction is handled. EMV, cybersecurity, data breach, pin pads, encryption. Whoever thought these words would be more important than net profit? But I can promise you, without one, you won't have the other in today's world. We have all seen or heard about many of the data breaches over the last several years. As you can see here, it is a big deal. Look at some of the companies. Sony PlayStation, 12 million records compromised. eBay, 145 million records. Anthem Health, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield, 80 million healthcare records, and Living Social, 50 million records compromised. In our industry, SuperValue was breached. Schnucks in St. Louis had over 2 million cards breached, and I think we are all well aware of the Target breach of over 100 million records. Target estimates the direct financial expenses due to the breach at over $148 million. Many industry experts predict that cyber breaches in the near future will put many small to mid-sized grocery stores out of business. You are a target. Don't be a target. So what should you do? First, let's look at EMV. EMV is EuroPay, MasterCard, and Visa. Recently, John Payne, our CIO, sent out a web blast with information on the risks, the technology, and what you need to do. To see the video, go to our website and click on the Freshen Up logo. You will find the video there. In short, you need to change out your pin pads and review your front-end capabilities by October. As you can see here, the weakest link in the transaction chain is at the register. The new pin pads accept chip technology as well as mobile touch payment. This new technology could help reduce card fraud by 90%. But if you do nothing, the card companies are pushing the financial burden of a breach to you. Contact your local POS provider immediately to evaluate your system and get your pin pads ordered. Next is cybersecurity. At the recent FMI and NGA events, several experts spoke on the importance of companies taking cybersecurity seriously. As I mentioned earlier, a breach can put you out of business. Most of the big companies have somewhat limitless resources to watch over this area, yet look at what has happened to them. Let me ask you, who is in charge of cybersecurity at your company? In most companies, the answer would be IT. I will tell you that the biggest takeaway for you today is that it is everyone's job. The importance of the financial transactions within your company have to be a priority for everyone. So what do? There's a tremendous amount of information out there, but let me boil it down to some next steps. 1. Take a self-assessment test. These are available from companies like VendorSafe, TrustWave, First Data, and others. Are you prepared? How do you prevent? How do you detect? How do you respond? And how do you recover? These are all questions you should be able to answer. Number 2, make this a priority for everyone in your company. We tend to think it is just IT or management, but someone at customer service allowing a person to come in and work on your system that is not supposed to be there opens Pandora's box. 3, contact your system provider. They know your equipment, they know your store, they know your software, and they should be working with you to keep you from a breach. They are the experts. 4. Plan for a breach. Run a fire drill. If you were breached today, what is your action plan? From technology to communication, who does what by when? You need to have a plan. There are many retailers that would be more than happy to share their plan with you. But again, talk to the experts. Lastly, think about cyber insurance. I am not an expert in this area, but more and more companies are moving in this direction. As I mentioned earlier, Target's initial estimate on expenses was around $148 million, not to mention the impact to sales, and more importantly, the image of their company. In conclusion, paper or plastic? Don't we wish it was that simple today?